Hi everyone! Today, we will learn English through an interesting story about Zakir Naik. In this lesson, you will improve your English listening, vocabulary, and understanding while learning about the life, views, and controversies of a famous Islamic speaker. This story is told in simple and clear English, so learners at every level can follow easily. Listen carefully, learn new words, and enjoy the story. Let's begin. Let me tell you the story of Zakir Abdul Karim Naik, a well-known Islamic speaker born on 18 October 1965 in Bombay, India. He became famous around the world for speaking about comparative religion, often quoting from the Quran, the Bible, and other religious books. What made him different was his style. He spoke in English, wore a suit and tie, and addressed modern audiences in a simple way. Zakir Naik studied medicine and earned his MBBS degree from the University of Mumbai. However, in 1991, he chose a different path and devoted his life to dawah, spreading the message of Islam. Inspired by the famous preacher Ahmed Deedat, whom he met in 1987, Naik began public lectures and debates. People later called him Deedat Plus because of his sharp memory and debating skills. He founded the Islamic Research Foundation, IRF, and later launched Peace TV in 2006, which became one of the largest religious satellite channels in the world. Through Peace TV, his lectures reached millions. Over the years, he claimed to have delivered more than 4,000 lectures worldwide on topics like Islam and science, Islam and Christianity, and Islam in the modern world. In 2016, while he was abroad, the Indian government accused him of hate speech and money laundering, banned IRF, and stopped Peace TV broadcasts in India. Zakir Naik denied all charges and did not return to India. He later became a permanent resident of Malaysia. India declared him a wanted person, but attempts to issue an Interpol red notice failed due to lack of evidence. Despite controversies, Naik continued his work. In 2021, he launched Al-Hidayah, an online Islamic learning platform, which he described as a halal version of Netflix. It features thousands of hours of lectures by many well-known Islamic scholars. Zakir Naik's views have often sparked debate. He says his mission is to help educated Muslim youth regain confidence in their faith and remove misconceptions about Islam. Supporters admire his logical style, while critics strongly oppose many of his statements on social and religious issues. Regardless of opinions, his influence on global Islamic discourse remains significant. Zakir Naik has often spoken against biological evolution. I have heard him say that evolution is only a theory, not a proven fact. According to him, many scientists support it because it challenges the Bible, not because it is fully true. He also claims that the Quran never contradicts established scientific facts and that some modern scientific ideas, such as embryology, were already mentioned in the Quran. He is also very critical of the international media. Naik often describes media as a powerful and dangerous weapon that can turn wrong into right. He believes Western media uses double standards, frequently portraying Muslims as extremists while ignoring context. He says Islam is misrepresented by highlighting negative examples and mistranslating words from the Quran and Sunnah. He also criticizes how Muslims are shown in films and news. When speaking about women and society, Naik argues that Islamic practices are judged unfairly. He often compares how hijab is criticized, while similar clothing worn by nuns is respected. He believes terms like extremist and fundamentalist are misused by the West, and says a true Muslim should be extreme only in kindness, honesty, and justice. Naik has also spoken about other religions. In 2006, he stated that the Kalki avatar mentioned in Hindu scriptures refers to Prophet Muhammad. On apostasy, he says Islam does not punish people simply for leaving the religion, but that punishment applies only if a person openly spreads another faith and speaks against Islam. He believes that while Muslims should be allowed to preach freely in non-Muslim countries, the spread of other religions in an Islamic state should not be allowed because he considers them incorrect. He has strongly criticized Christian missionary activities in Muslim regions, accusing them of misleading tactics. On violence and jihad, Naik repeatedly says that killing innocent people is completely forbidden in Islam. He explains that jihad does not mean holy war, but struggle, first against one's own weaknesses, then for justice and self-defense. He condemns groups that misuse the term jihad to justify violence. However, Naik has also faced strong criticism for promoting conspiracy theories, including claims that the September 11th attacks were an inside job. Because of such views, he's been denied entry into several countries. In one interview, he stated that he had no clear opinion on Osama bin Laden, saying he had not researched him enough. This part of his story shows why Zakir Naik remains one of the most debated and controversial Islamic speakers of modern times, praised by supporters for his confidence and logic, and criticized by others for his statements and interpretations. Zakir Naik has repeatedly said that his words on terrorism were often taken out of context. In 2010, I heard him explain that when he used the word terrorist, he meant someone who frightens antisocial elements, not innocent people. He clearly stated that no Muslim is allowed to harm an innocent human being, whether Muslim or non-Muslim. Still, his earlier speeches created serious backlash. In the 1990s, he made strong remarks about terrorism, even calling America the biggest terrorist, which led to intense media attention. Because of these comments, the United Kingdom banned him, though Naik and his organization claimed his speeches were misquoted and politically motivated. He also once called Hitler the biggest terrorist for killing millions of Jews. Naik often quotes the Quran to argue that killing one innocent person is like killing all humanity. According to him, Islam only allows punishment for those who murder others or spread extreme corruption. He accuses the media of misusing Quranic verses by removing them from their battlefield context to portray Islam as violent. On suicide bombings, Naik said they are forbidden if innocent people are harmed, but he controversially argued that such acts could be allowed as a war tactic, comparing them to Japan's actions in World War II. This statement drew global criticism. Naik has also been linked indirectly to terrorism cases. When it was reported that Najibullah Zazi, involved in a terror plot, admired his lectures, Naik firmly denied any responsibility and said he has always condemned terrorism. He has also strongly opposed ISIS, calling it an anti-Islamic state and urging Muslims and media not to associate Islam with its crimes. After the Orlando nightclub shooting, Naik criticized the media for linking Islam to the attacker, calling it another example of double standards. In politics, Naik has taken shifting positions. He once called the partition of India a tragedy. In 2016, he praised Prime Minister Narendra Modi for engaging with Muslim countries, but later became one of his harshest critics. Naik accused Modi and the BJP of targeting him for political reasons and said he would not return to India while Modi remains in power. In Malaysia, his comments about ethnic communities caused widespread outrage. Many felt his words promoted racial division, leading to police investigations, public speaking bans in most Malaysian states, and calls for his extradition. Eventually, Naik apologized, saying his remarks were misunderstood and that he never intended to offend any community. This chapter of Zakir Naik's life shows why he is seen as one of the most controversial religious figures of modern times, a speaker who strongly condemns terrorism, yet whose words and comparisons have repeatedly placed him at the center of global political and social storms.